Here are 5 things I wish I knew when I was at the beginning of my sewing journey. Hello everyone and welcome back to Joys That Flies. If you're new here, my name's Cassidy and I deal with the sewing side of this channel. So it is a miserable rainy day today, so I thought today would be a great day to chat about 3 things I wish I knew when I started on my sewing journey. So I thought I'd talk about this in long form content here on YouTube because I've done a couple of shorts about it, and there has been surprisingly a lot of rage baiting happening with the 3 tips I give. So I thought I'd discuss it further on here, see if people are still of the same mind or whether anybody has some new views on it or not. And also, I've now been sewing for 6 years in total. 5 of those years I've been doing dressmaking mainly, and so in 6 years a lot of mistakes can happen, and because a lot of mistakes have happened, I have learned a lot. So I thought I'd share some tips so one, you can learn from my mistakes and hopefully it will help some new beginners out there. Now, my first tip for you is that sewing is actually 80% prep work and only 20% sewing with your actual sewing machine. Now, I'm not saying this to make sewing sound really depressing. I'm saying it because that 80% prep work is actually the make or break of your sewing project. Now, the thing that really cinched this for me was when I discovered how much pressing every single seam and using my iron like it was going out of style made to my sewing projects. Same with any type of prep work like basting or making sure you're cutting out your fabric correctly is so important to your final sewing project. So if you want your sewing project to stop looking handmade and actually look like it's something that could have been bought from a shop and could have been made professionally, then make sure you're doing all of your prep work. It is definitely the boring side of sewing. All prep work feels really boring, feels like you're just wasting time, but trust me, it's not. It's actually so important. So just add that extra 10 minutes by hand basting your invisible zip before you sew it with your sewing machine, and it will make the world of a difference. Now, this second tip I feel like I talk about in every other video I make here on YouTube, and I talk about it so much because it's so important and I'm trying to emphasize how important it is, and that is that you should always sew a prototype first. Now, if you're like, I don't know what a prototype is, I don't know how to go about making a prototype, I do have a video actually on the channel that does a deep dive into prototypes, why you should make them, how you go about making them, what they're for. So if you're interested in that, I'll link it down below in the description for you. But just know that a prototype is basically a dummy run of your final project. You just make it with any scrap fabric you have. You don't actually sew it properly. It's just a little dummy run, something that you can try on, make sure you like it, make any changes, make any fit changes, check it all before you sew your final project. And before I used to sew prototypes, I wasted a lot of fabric because it was when I was starting to make my own sewing patterns instead of buying them. So I still wasn't very good at making my own patterns. There were lots of things that would go wrong, and then instead of sewing a prototype, I would cut out that incorrect pattern on my final fabric. So as you can imagine, that created a disaster. So I did waste a lot of fabric, but now I have learned that if I sew a prototype first, I can make those adjustments, make those tweaks on that rough version before I go in with my nice fabric. Tip number 3 is the fabric you use for your sewing project can really impact the final outcome. So if you use the wrong fabric for your project, it can completely ruin the project. So next time you go fabric shopping, don't just look at the fabric and think, oh, that's a cute pattern, I really like that color or anything like that. Actually look at the fabric type and see if that fabric type will work with your project. Now, if you have no clue what type of fabric type to use, which I always forget, I don't have them off the top of my head because there's long lists of fabrics and what they can all be used for, you can really easily look it up. Like look up, say you're making a shirt, say what fabrics are good to make a shirt with, things like that. You can look them up. Or if you're using a bought pattern, generally on the back of, say, if you're using a bought paper pattern, it will have on the back a list of what fabrics you can use. I'm not sure if it's the same with if you buy PDF patterns, because I don't buy PDF patterns online, I've never have, but so I'm not sure whether they do or not, but you can always find out. Now, this tip kind of goes with the first tip that I mentioned, but it's kind of a part of it that is overly emphasized for a reason, and that is that you should iron everything. Use your iron like it's going out of style, because it will completely change your sewing projects. I can look back at my past sewing projects and I can tell what I haven't ironed and what I have, and now I try and iron everything and make it all as neat as possible using my iron. It literally will become your best friend. Ironing is really boring when you're doing it like for a household chore, but in sewing, it will become your best friend. So every time you sew a seam, press that seam with your iron, things like that. Before you cut out fabric, give your fabric an iron. I am really guilty of being lazy with that one, but it actually makes more of a difference than you think. So before you cut out fabric, iron it. Before you sew it, iron it. After you sew it, iron it. Literally iron everything. So this last tip, the 5th tip, was apparently very controversial when I mentioned it on short form content. I don't know why, and I didn't expect it to be so controversial, but apparently it was. And all it was when you're a beginner, so I'm talking very early days of sewing, don't use the expensive fabric on your sewing project. Now, the only reason why I say that is because for me personally, I look back at my past sewing projects, see that nice expensive fabric that's really pretty that I spent money on, and I look at it and think, why did I waste it on a project I can't use anymore? Because the sewing from those first projects is awful. Because I'm a beginner, I was just learning, I'm practicing, so they are dreadful. So the only reason why I say it is that you can save money. Whereas if I had in those days use some cheaper fabric or something, say that I'd got from a charity shop, I'd look back and wouldn't be upset at all, because I've used cheaper fabric, I've used it basically to practice it on. Now, the things that people didn't like was basically using the cheap fabric is no fun. Using the expensive pretty fabric is fun, which yes, I do get, it's more fun, it's more thrilling, but I think you can get some really pretty fabrics for a cheaper option, personally. The other reason that people didn't like it was because if you're going for the more natural route, then obviously most cheaper fabrics are synthetic and the expensive ones are the natural ones. If you're going down that road, yes, you've got a bit more of a problem. So maybe this tip isn't applicable to you. What I would do now if I was starting again is do what I still sometimes do now. Go to a charity shop and thrift some fabric. Sometimes charity shops have fabrics, or maybe thrift a bedsheet, thrift a quilt, things like that. Because you can get a bedsheet for £2 and you can make a dress out of it. So if you're a beginner, go to your charity shop, or if you're in America, go to your thrift shops, buy in some fabric. And if you want to go down like the more natural, more like eco-friendly route, then I think thrifting your fabric is actually a really good idea, and recycling fabric, it's an eco-friendly thing to do. And those are all of the tips I have for you today. Let me know down below in the comments whether you agree, whether you disagree. I'm always happy to hear different opinions, or whether you have any other tips. I'm sure we'd all be happy to hear those. And so with that, I'll see you next time on the channel.